welcome to Coding After Work.
We're back. Another week.
Back. Another week. And I am using my fancy clothes. Not only, or adult clothes maybe, not only because I'm excited about CSS, but also because I had class all day. I had one of my UX classes.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you're all read up on UX now.
Yes. It's actually pretty awesome. It's a JavaScript program. And so there's a lot of friendliness towards front end.
That's good.
Which I approve of.
Just to be clear, you're teaching that class.
Yes, I'm not learning JavaScript, and I'm not teaching JavaScript, just to be clear. I'm teaching UX. And
not doing that one.
No, I am not well suited to teach JavaScript.
All right, so what are we doing today?
We are doing a lot of fun stuff. Well,
we don't know what we're doing.
No, we don't know, because we need...
to start with the backlog.
Yes, I like me some backlogs.
But first, we are going to NDC.
We are.
We're recording some podcasts and stuff like that over there. It's one of the first in-person conferences for...
Well, 2 years.
What is it, 2 years?
2 and a half? I don't know. It's a long time.
So if
everything goes well.
If everything,
we don't know about the pandemic.
Still a little bit of lockdown things going on, and we're definitely not going to take any unnecessary risks.
Yeah, exactly.
So if there is anyone in the chat that are going as well, let's meet up. Let's do something.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Also, if there's any request for what guest we could have on the podcast, just ping us. Either here or on YouTube, as long as it's
Discord
before...
or whatever.
Yeah, or Twitter. Even TikTok is fine.
Even TikTok. All right, so we got a backlog.
We
have a sprint. I actually prepared this this time.
Like the TV chef you are.
Like the TV chef I am. Okay, so what are we doing today? Style. The most important thing we have is style content pages.
Yes, it is.
Are we doing that?
Yes, please, because I get a little nauseous when I see it.
That is totally true.
Yeah.
Okay, add an about page.
That would be cool.
We can just add the page, then we can just add the whatever content we need. We can talk about that later. Add a sponsor page.
That would be awesome. Because we have amazing sponsors.
So let's just quickly go through the stuff here. So we got show meetup. Not going to do that. Accessibility, that's ongoing.
Yet. Yeah, and also not yet.
Show Discord, Twitch, and TikTok. Let's wait with that one as well.
Yeah, nice to have, but not necessary.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that all of those, Meetup, Discord, and Twitch, not Twitch maybe, but TikTok is going to be some kind of footer or something like that. Filter on tags. Well, we only have tags for podcasts at this point. Yeah. So I think that is going to go together with, if we choose to go with the YouTube APIs. Yeah. I'm actually going to drag that one down. Schedule page, that would be awesome to show whenever we go live. Change the image. We're going to change the image, aren't we?
Are we? Sort of. Sort of, which just reminds me that I have yet to move that to... so you keep on talking. I will just be a TV chef here in background and move that... Oh well, it's actually on this. I just had a brain fart. I was trying to move the image to the stream computer, but the stream computer does not run Visual Studio.
Yep, it does not. Well, it does. It could.
It could.
Okay, so we're going to change the image, are we? We're going to do that.
Sort of. Let's work on that.
We'll add that one as well.
Yeah.
And iconography.
Iconography.
That's how you pronounce it. That sounds way better. That sounds way better than I did it.
There's no way I can vouch for that being correct. It's just how I say it.
So we're not going to do that either. But that's what we're talking about.
Not in this sprint.
With icons and stuff like that. Peelan says that every computer needs Visual Studio. That's Absolutely true.
We do have Visual Studio Code on the streaming computer. Are we forgiven then? But I can tell you this. You do not, I repeat, you do not want to run Visual Studio 2022 on your streaming computer.
That's true.
Because the memory. It
64 bits for the win.
Yeah, I just installed Visual Studio 2022 preview, I should say, on my laptop this week because we updated for .NET 2, .NET 6, so I kind of had to. Whew, it was not happy. It was not happy.
Right, should we switch over to your computer?
We can do that.
Let's do that. And if I can figure out how. There we go.
So this is where I'm cheating a little bit because...
We are somewhat forgiven. That's good. That's good to know. That feels better.
At least it starts with Visual Studio. I actually prefer that, and I know I shouldn't say that out loud sometimes, but that's...
That's because you have the light theme.
I do have the light theme. Where are the images at? Oh, here, I think.
Yeah.
There we go. So let's just paste in that image. There we go. So I cheated. This is why I'm nauseous.
This is where we're at. This is what we're working with.
Yeah, and we still have the motto, done is better than perfect, which kind of hurts a little bit. And this is not okay. So I kind of took it upon myself to at least clean this mess up a little bit. And I mean, this is not...
Looks great. Ship it.
No!
So I think that even though I know what you have in store a little bit for this episode, and I think that we actually going to need at least one more episode before we ship it.
Yeah, I think so too. Definitely. And also, someone needs to stop me and just ship it at some point because I will never be satisfied with whatever this is looking like. Well, of course not now. Nobody will be satisfied with this. So we tried some cool things because I'm learning CSS a little bit, and there are so many cool things.
It is.
I had no idea you could do that nowadays. You don't have to have 15 million divs to center something, for instance.
True.
And even if we're not actually using the piece of code, the center code we wrote in the first episode, I can't comment it out because it's center. I'm invested in that now. So, you want to fix it?
No, I don't want to fix it.
You don't want to fix it.
I don't like it. So I've been spending my whole day with CSS today.
Oh, so you're already warmed up?
I am not warmed up. I'm done.
Okay. Yeah. And I spend all day with amazing consultants to be. So I guess it's up to me now. Okay. So first of all, it was kind of cool that this is transparent and all of that and that it goes behind, but we can't use this. First of all, if the menu text is on top of the episode text, if you have the dark theme, well, actually, if you have the light theme as well, we are kind of screwed a little bit. So we need to fix that. So let's head back over and go in and add. Actually, I want to add another variable here because we might need the transparency color later on somewhere else. I don't know. I still like it, so I don't want to remove it. So let's do, what do we call it? Hover. Let's do a hover color, so it's not a font color. Okay. And I want it to be gray. And now I've actually checked. I kind of like the color we have. The effect, if we disregard everything else, but if we look out here in the side, it's a little bit lighter, and I kind of like that difference a little bit. So I've actually checked what that will be if we're not doing it transparent, if that makes sense. and it will be 69, 68, 67, I believe. So now we have a... Did I just do that on the font color? Hey, you were not supposed to be called font. Come on, let's do a... There we go, we can't reuse it. Well, probably could. It was helping me a little bit too much. So now we have set another color that is solid. You can see that it's not an A here, so this part makes it transparent. And we need to figure out where our header is at, and I think it's down here somewhere, about here. So this time I'm actually using notes that I hope I can read. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
If you were here when I had my meltdown, you will know. So in our header, where's our header?
So this might be a good moment to, if you want to see that meltdown, you can check out our YouTube page.
Gee, thank you.
Where we have all our videos and stuff like that going up, well, as soon as possible, basically.
So that was nice. Thank you so much. So I'm changing this from transparent color to the hover color instead. So hopefully, is it running? No, it's not running. Hopefully, we will have a solid color now. Come on, Visual Studio, look at that. It looks...
Including all your meltdowns. Well, so far.
So far, yeah.
Including my meltdowns as well, because I apparently had, I think it was the first episode, there was some comments on my meltdown.
That wasn't a meltdown.
That was a YAML meltdown.
Oh, you mean that one? Yeah, okay. So you were...
Or rant, maybe.
Yeah, more like a rant.
We got a YAML meltdown and a CSS meltdown.
Yeah. And my brain doesn't work when I've decided that I have been defeated. It stops working, so I can literally not even read if that happens. Okay, so now we have a solid color instead, but you can see there's some stuff going on, but we will get to that. But at least we can read the menu now. So that's one thing. Mm-hmm. So if we head down to Visual Studio a little further down, let's see, where are we putting that? In our NavUL, here it is, and let me bring that up. Is the text large enough, or should I maybe
that's better.
Zoom in a little? There we go.
There are very few people that says that, well, the text is too easy to read.
Yeah, I know.
Now, I had that session where people said that the text was too large, it was too easy to... No, they never said it was too easy to read, but they said that the text was too large.
That's always awesome. So, if you see here, it's Blazor, it's so fast. So let me do that again and comment out that with the help of one of my favorite keyboard shortcuts, Control-KC, which is commenting it out.
So you're basically just saving the file. Is that what's going on?
I didn't even save. Well, I might have done by automation, muscle memory or something. But if you see here, I think it's a little bit close to the content, because if I'm a little bit in here and trying to read, it's I think it's too close. So, and now I'm using one of my other favorite one, which is uncomment, which is Control-KU, which I'm using all the time. So now, there we go. See, I didn't even save, but I think it's, see, it still has a star up here, so it's not even saved yet. Blazor just boom, boop, yeah.
So this is part of the hot reload thingies that is going on. It's not completely there yet, but we're getting there. We're getting there.
And any day now. But when hot reload works, it is freaking amazing. So I kind of like that. Okay, so again, we go back to the trusty CSS, and it must be because the project is running. I don't know. It's super fast. I like when it's super fast. Everything should be super fast. Okay, so here we have our class episode layout where we did a lot of stuff. But I want to remove that padding, or that margin rather, that we have here on the top that makes a mess of things. Because it's not that pretty. And it wasn't as visible before when we didn't even see the menu. Yeah. So there's that. And so I want to add a margin top, and I want to set that to 0 pixels. So I'm forcing that. I still want the other margins, but the top margins I do not want. And there we go. We cannot see whatever is scrolling behind. Of course, we will fix this later as well, but and actually we can do that. And I'm pretty sure that there are better ways to do this. I'm learning. Please feel free to tell me how to do that. But what I will do is cheat.
We can always revisit and fix things.
So I will actually just say move all the content down with 250 pixels, and it will actually start here. So this is probably not the recommended way to go, but for now this will work. And I have estimated how large the image is and how much we need to push the content down. Again, I would not recommend doing this in the final stuff.
Well, there might not be another way.
There probably is. I'm pretty sure. Okay. So what else? I think that sound was only in our ears.
Maybe.
I think it's on the computer actually.
But the streaming computer. It's from the TV.
Oh, it was? Yeah. Okay. So that's what you get when you have the sound on the TV on at the same time.
We have too many things. No.
You heard it here. Someone please stitch this. No, it's not called stitch.
We do not have too many things.
What's it called?
I am not going to tell you.
Someone make a short clip. Someone clip that he said that we have too many things. Because I will not hear the end of that. Okay, so let's talk about this page. And one of the things I always ask, so I give, in my UX classes, I give the assignment of doing a project, a fictive project. If they want, they can do a real project. There's really not a lot of time I'm giving them because I only have 2 days. But one of the things I always say is, what's the most important thing? What's the most important feature? What's the most important content? So what is the most important thing on this page?
What's the most important? Well, it should be the podcasts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So why have we made them so small?
Because insert pun here. I have nothing.
Because they're not stormtroopers?
I don't know.
No. So I think we should actually...
But the other question that we want to ask ourselves is, what do we want people to do as well? Right?
Yeah.
So what do we want people to do? Well, we want people to read. We want them to...
click on it.
To listen to the episode.
Yeah.
And there's also, we talked about this a couple of days ago, when it comes to podcasts, we don't really want our users or our visitors to go in and listen to the episode on the page. Well, it should be possible.
Yeah, I think what you're trying to say is we want them to use whatever podcast app they are using.
Exactly.
But if they are just discovering this...
they should be able to check it out.
Is this worth
listen to the awesome vocoders in the beginning of the show and just say, if everything goes straight down from here, it's still going to be a kick-ass show.
Yeah, At least I got some 90s.
You should totally get a T-shirt with that.
I'm here for the vocoders.
I listened to Coding After Work, and all I got was this lousy vocoders. I don't know.
Okay. I'm here for the vocoders.
I'm here for that's that's the better one. That's definitely the better one.
Okay. So I actually want to change the size of the image, so it's a little bit bigger, because now it's only 100 pixels. And I have come to know that using width or height is not always the best option. Mm-hmm. You can use max width and min width and height, of course, which will help the browser and the user a little bit. Because now we say it should now and forever always be 100 pixels. So I'm actually going to change this to a max width.
These pictures we get from our podcast distributor, Libsyn. And the thing is that they actually have the images are made for Apple Podcasts, maybe iTunes. So they're like 1400 times 1400. They're huge images.
They are. And also the reason for there being a white frame around them, it's how they look at that platform, because we had some issues early on and we have just stuck with it. So we actually need to upload all the new images to fix that. So that is coming up.
So we've got a comment that it's more responsive to use % min or max.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That makes sense. And I'm guessing you can actually combine them as well.
I assume so.
Yeah. There's a lot of cool things you can do, isn't there? I like all the things.
And you're really rediscovering...
Rediscovering. I'm discovering what you can do with CSS. I had no clue. Back in my day, we could...
We could set font size.
Yeah, basically. And you could put divs in divs. And div was actually a fairly new thing back then. We did iframes in frames and other iframes. And you would not want to see my first webpage.
So I've been looking a little bit, checking out how to add a Twitch to a homepage or a web page. And one of the ways is JavaScript. And I don't want to use that if I can avoid it.
You don't really like JavaScript?
No, it's not only because I don't like JavaScript, but because I don't want to mix the technologies.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So if I can avoid JavaScript, I want to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But the other way is iframes.
Yeah.
And I hate iframes even more.
That bad, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You should have I shown you the first page I got paid for?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not pretty. It was a thing back then, but my gosh. I think there was something like 12 iframes or something.
Nice.
It was horrendous. Again, if you had to center something. What else do we need to do? Actually, I want the text to be...
Show the page.
One of these days, I actually don't have it on this computer, but one of these days I should probably do that. But the thing I have not shown you ever is my database I did when I studied basic IT or whatever they called it, because that was not...
Jimmy must love Flash and Java applets. Well, I do love Flash, but the other one, the DC one.
The superhero one.
Did you use the marquee tag? Did you?
Tell them.
Not
on that page. Can I get away with that? Not on that page. It did things. And today you can use CSS for that stuff. I can make stuff blink. Anyway, and travel around and the things we had to do. Okay, so first of all, I actually want to remove that it's floating left because it makes no sense to have it side by side like this for me. So I'm just going to remove that, and there we go. Ooh. We can see 2 on my screen, and my screen has some sort of almost square.
Yeah, there is something strange going on with the resolution on your machine.
Yeah, it's kind of almost a perfect square, which is really strange. But I think this is more suitable for in-your-face images. And again, the white stuff will be removed one of these days.
One of these days.
Yeah. Actually, we can comment out. Well, actually, we can actually just remove it. Why do I need it? Comment. There we go. Away with you. What else can we do? We can actually...
The formatting there is the
yeah, I see it. I see it.
And this is why you haven't shown me your code, right?
Yeah, that is true. And I want to put this at a max width as well, but I want it a little bit bigger.
Even bigger?
Yeah, because the image is 400, so the text should be
Sounds
400.
reasonable.
This does not look as good on my laptop as it does on any other screen, I must say. It looks like it's a huge image. Let's do something like this. There we go. This makes more sense. This is probably what you would see if you used your computer on this. So now it's the same size instead, so that's cool. Also, I want to change the episode shadow because there is a little bit of a drop shadow going on here. And you can do so many cool stuff. I will not go overboard with it, but what I do want to do is actually change the blur, so the blur is a little bit larger, and I want to change the spread as well. So the first one is, I think it's the one that goes from left to right, and the second one is the other one. And I cannot, for the life of me, say vertical or horizontal because it does not compute in my brain. So this little thing is the blur. So now we will get a little bit more spread, and I will show you again. Let's do go back to the 2 and update. Did it update?
I think it did. Didn't it?
Why does it look like it has double there? Okay. So now it's a little bit, it's kind of dark and small. So let's change that back again and see that, okay, update. It's not as harsh. So what I'm doing is giving it a little bit more wider space to blur out, if you will. And this one is how many pixels do I want before I start to spread? So before I start to spread before I want to blur, I should say, before the blur starts. So if I set that to 5, it will look very iffy. But it won't start until after those 5 pixels. Now I think 5 is maybe a little bit too much for whatever we're using. But I also want to change this one because I want it a little bit. Let's try to increase that. Why does it do double in between? That's iffy. So now it's a little bit. You can see it lifted up a little bit more. Which I find a little bit better when they are this big as they are. So that's something we can do. And we, of course, I will go back 500 million times and change that so many times. Also, I think we should increase the gap we have here because I don't think that's kind of big enough, if you will.
It's pretty close.
Yeah. And of course we can do that. And I think around here in the episode layout. We have a great grab.
Have a nice evening.
Bye. Thanks for joining us. That was a long time ago we met that person. In real life, I would say. So we have a grid gap now of 1 rem. So in our case, that's 16 pixels. So I want to increase that to 2.5 rems, so we get even more. There we go.
Yeah, much better.
So we can actually separate them. And while we are at it, we put this padding in before. To push down the content.
I remember.
Yeah, you remember? So again, this hard coding stuff might not always be the best idea. So actually we can change that to rems as well. So we can figure out how many rems 250 pixels is, and I think it's like 17, 18 or something. Let's try 17 rem. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, actually, this was better because now we have the same amount here as we do between that, and it will change with the RAM. So I kind of like that. I like when everything goes
according to plan.
Yeah, exactly. What else can we do? We changed the image. We changed all of that. What file am I in? Let's go into the main layout. Because something that I find very helpful, and I always want it to be super easy for everyone to understand everything. You shouldn't make the users think anywhere.
Don't make the users think.
Well, it's kind of true.
Yeah.
If they don't have to think. Remember when I was a guest at this podcast and I got a question. So can you give us an example of a page or an app that has a really great UX? And they wanted me to say stuff like Apple or something, whatever. Really sleek looking page. And I was like, well, it's the ones you don't think about. So it's kind of, that's it. If I don't have to think at all, it just works.
Usually, you probably won't see a great UX and think, oh, this is a great UX.
No, it's just working.
You're just,
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't have to think. That's a great UX for me.
The button that is simply not there.
Yeah, exactly. Do the thinking for me. That's why we're trying to automate everything back here. Mm-hmm. So we have this hover effect, but what if we were actually on the page and we could see what page we were on?
That would
so
be
it's
great.
Super clear, because now we don't know if this is podcasts or videos or about us.
Yeah.
Nobody knows. So there is a way to do that, of course. Something else I've learned. So here's our menu here. And actually, I was looking at a lot of tutorials on. I like to do research, and that's what I do when I can't sleep at night. And I saw people fix this in a very complicated way. Well, for me, it's easy, but it's also complicated. So in our page, our header and menu, that's one file. We don't have that file on the home, on the about, on YouTube, on podcast. We're not duplicating that code. But apparently, for the most part, you do that, at least for the ones I saw. So what they did was just went in here and put a class on whatever page you were in, and then you went into About Us and put a class on the About Us page. But turns out...
So you basically duplicated the menu for every page?
Yes. Yes.
Let's not do that.
No. I don't like to repeat myself.
I have built this functionality so many times in different variations. Can't even count.
And actually, I read this in a book because now I'm doing Blazor. Mm-hmm. And I'm not a Blazor person, really. But I read it in a book, which you happen to author. So you can use a Navlink. So we're just changing, and here Visual Studio is helping us. You see, this is a A. No, it's a Navlink. And they even... Spooky. Yeah, it is. And they even close off the tag, which I really like because it's so neat and I don't have to...
I love how this is totally new to you. It's closing off the tag. I don't have to write it.
What I'm not using preview software, and I usually...
This has been around for a while.
Yeah, and I usually live in Visual Studio Code if I'm even in Visual Studio, which I'm usually not.
Nah.
So
you usually live in Photoshop or something like that.
Yeah, but more like that. PowerPoint. That's a sad truth. So what is Navlink?
Yeah, so the really cool thing with Navlink is that it's checking the route and makes sure whether or not you're on that particular route. So it's going to check that.
So the route is the slash, right? Slash image, slash YouTube
exactly.
In our case.
So in this case, the top one here is going to check, is the Navlink, does it have a slash? Does it begin with a slash, actually, at this point?
Yeah. Yeah, because we only have that here.
Yeah, and the second one, so there's two ways of identifying the route. One way is to match all. So it's actually a little bit counterintuitive, if you will. So if you're matching all...
Well, let's do that. Match... let's see. Okay, I messed it up. There we go. Did I mess something up?
No, you're right.
Okay, there we go.
Track.
Visual Studio wasn't in. And we want to match Navlink match, which does not make sense, dot all.
Yeah.
There we go.
So the difference here is if you're matching all, the whole route needs to be the thing in the href tag.
Yeah, so it needs to be /about.
/YouTube /episodes.
Yeah.
But if you're using the other one, which is prefix, so Navlink match dot prefix, which is the default one, you're only going to match part of it.
Yeah.
So it's only
basically the slash would be matched, and that would be true on all of them.
Exactly.
All of them had a slash.
So usually what you do is that you have the match link, Navlink match all on the top one on the default page, if you will.
The index or main
home or whatever.
Yeah.
So in this case, it's going to match the default page or the index page, the first one, and the second one needs to be /about /YouTube /episodes and stuff and so on. And I think, I'm not sure about this actually, but I think that /episodes /something else would match in this case in the Navlink.
Oh, okay. So if we have a episodes page, and on that page we also have an episode /YouTube videos and episodes /podcast videos.
And I do believe that our routes looks exactly like that, so we can test that out.
Oh, we can?
I think so.
Okay. Tell me.
So let's, is it updated?
I don't know. Let's see. I don't think so because it wasn't turning out. No, it's not.
I think you need to rebuild it.
Yeah. Let's
so as we mentioned, the hot reload, awesome feature. Well, actually,
to be fair, the Razor pages are the Razor components. See, I'm learning. The Razor components are not always doing the hot reload, anyways. Yeah. But the CSS files, that's no issues.
So it doesn't seem to pick it up, does it?
No, it doesn't. Oh, well, I haven't changed the color on it yet.
Okay.
Maybe we should do that first.
So what happens is whenever it matches a URL or a route, it's going to add, I believe it's active. So it's going to add a class named active. So we need a class.
So I'm not making this name up. I'm just using active. And in that, I'm setting the color. And I am using our trusty variable, which we can use the hover font color, because that's the blue one. In this case, unless we are in... No, actually, we use that for the light theme as well. There we go. And now we can... Well, actually, I want the font weight to be a little bit more fatter or bolder. Let's make it bolder as well, so it's a little bit more visible. And that was the CSS, so hopefully, yes,
there we go.
It worked.
All right. So let's see. Let's click on a podcast.
So let's click on Jeffritz.
Yeah.
Which we have not styled this.
So as you can see, the URL up there is episodes / and
Mumbo Jumbo. Or with.
But this is actually a completely different page.
Yeah.
So it's not just one page. It's every single page that conforms to that route or URL.
That is really good, because I also saw that when I was looking out on solutions to do this, that they had to go in and actually put that on every single page. And that is not the optimal way I would want to do it.
And the way we named these things, we named it episodes, and then we added an ID. I think we did the same thing for YouTube as well. I'm not sure, but that kind of conforms with the rules for REST APIs, if you will. You have episodes, and then you can send in an ID, and then you would get only one back.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thinking.
Yeah. Okay. So we have the episode, but I think I want the episode. No, it's the episode, right? Because you saw it.
I saw it.
It was not pretty.
It's not pretty.
It's not pretty. We need to fix this. We need to fix a lot of things. So let's stop this project. Let's remove that so we can actually see what we're doing a little bit. And the first thing I noticed here, again, I'm not a Blazor person, but sometimes I pick up things. Do we have the episodes? Because I think that's the one that we do the other thing, right? Okay, so this is the episode where we have multiple episodes that we're showing. So we are checking if episodes are null. Then we should have a loading text.
Yeah.
Just in case. And if it's not null, show the episodes. But here, I noticed that what we're doing is... Oh, and also we have an else. So if it's not, do this. But here, we are actually checking if it's not null. Which means if by any chance any of our podcasts, maybe our service is down or it hasn't loaded or whatever, we won't get anything. Yeah. And there will be no loading or... Actually,
it's going to get the episodes anyways, but it might take a little bit of time.
Yeah, but this is the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still... So what is going to happen is that it's going to get all the episodes from our RSS feed.
Yeah.
And populate that, and then get the episode. So it's not going to blow up at this point.
No, but I would rage quit if it takes that long.
It takes a little bit of time.
And if I get no information about that, that's not a great UX. No. So I am in your file, your Blazor, and I'm messing it up. So let's say if it's actually null, let's just copy this. Because
now you're thinking like a developer.
Because I'm lazy.
So I saw my colleague today. We were doing we were checking the ID in the database. So he goes in, he does a search, copies the number, goes into another SQL file, and types the number in.
But he has it in his copy.
Yes.
Did he know that he That might have been like a backup.
Well, to be honest, what I saw on the screen, because we shared the screen, he marked it. So I don't know if he actually copied it.
Okay.
But he pressed the cell and might not have pressed the Control C.
There you go.
Copy and paste coding for the win. Yes, I know, right? It's kind of fun because we have a new colleague, or actually he's an old colleague, but we have been working
from a different
we've been working on different places for a while. So we're kind of getting back to coding together again, and he's copy and pasting everything, just like me.
Yeah, you do copy paste everything. Sometimes to a fault.
Yeah.
If it's faster just to type, if it's two numbers, you will still copy it, even if it takes you 3 tries to actually try to figure them. Yeah, but it's in your blood, I think. So I'm actually putting a div around the content on the episode image because I want to do stuff with it.
Okay.
And that's the best way I know of. Not that I know all the CSS in the world, by no means. And I want to make a class that we call page content. So we can actually style this. So that's good.
So where do we have the div?
So we put it around all the content. Well, basically it's loading. Let's see.
Not sure that a project is running.
Oh no, it's not running. So it's around all the content inside. So it goes this is the play button that we have. So it's even under that one, just so I can control the content.
So basically all the content on an episode.
Yes.
That's what we're doing.
Yes.
Right?
Because I think that's a good idea. What else do we need to do? We need to go into the CSS file and let's run this project so I can see what we have to work with.
What is broken?
What is broken? Oh gosh, don't say that. So we did it on the podcast and into an episode. Right now it does nothing because I just put it on top and below. So it's basically ending right here and starting somewhere under here. Let's see. Don't lose your train of thought, please. So first of all, we need to change the image size because again, it's kind of small and also invisible for now. I'll get to that. If I do things in another order than the one I have written down, I will be lost. So that's what we're doing. Where's my my episode image? Do I have an episode image? Where's my episode image? There it is. So we set the. Isn't that the one we did before? No, I want to center everything. That's what I want to do. I think. Let's try. Am I on the wrong episode image?
Do you have more than one?
Yeah, because I'm on the episodes image. I thought it looked iffy.
Okay.
There we go. Where's the other one?
So that's the list of episodes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I don't think we have an episode image. So let's just make one up.
Make one up.
But it's not in the navigations stuff. Let's put it right here. So we have a episode image because we need to fix some stuff, right? And let's put the max width on this one as well. And we set the other one to 400. Let's try that. We can also, what can we do? We can put the, don't we have an episode image? Am I losing it again? Let's search for it. Episode image.
There it is.
Yeah, but that's the one I'm writing right now. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So you also need to add a dot before the episode.
Oh yeah. Oh, how long I have.
That's a super tricky one.
Yeah, if you miss it, like copy and paste the name and it still doesn't show up, well, that's because you did not put the point. We also want to put the margin left to auto, because this is, but we need to spell margin correctly. I think I tried to spell margarine. So we have a margin left on to auto, and then we have a margin right, and I know you're going to hate me if I do not change that to, there we go.
Thank you.
I think we need to use a display block to be able to use this magic. Again, I'm not by any means a expert, but by doing this, we can say that you fix the margins. You're the smart one. I'm certainly not the smart one. And I have probably forgotten something.
I don't think we actually added the episode image to the image.
Well, that could be a problem. That could be a problem.
I'm honestly not sure.
No, we did not. Where's the episode image? That must be the one. Let's put a class. Oh my gosh, stop it. And what did we call it? Episode. Can you help me?
Image.
No, I meant
image. It's the image.
I didn't mean you. Okay, let's see if this works now. Oh, okay, and I need to reboot that. And I'm sorry about the Alt Tab. It's in my fingers. Okay, let's see if anything happened here. Or if I'm blanking on something.
No.
No. But should it be in the image? I am completely blanking on because we have the, why did we do, yeah, we have a class that's called episode image. Now, why do you not show up?
But we don't have anything called page content, right?
No, not yet.
Do we need to?
Not yet.
Okay.
I don't think so, because it's still cascading, so it shouldn't. So we have the episode image, and I'm using the dot. Let's just copy.
We're copying the words.
Exactly. Did I put it in episode? Yes, I put it in the episode. There we go.
That seems to be the same. The height, 250, should that be there?
Let's remove that. Because we set the height someone else. There we go. Someone else there. Somewhere else. Let's do that.
Let's see what happened.
Oh, yeah. Look at what Life Size Teddy Bear just wrote. Shouldn't Visual Studio be able to give you a squiggly if you missed off the dot? Yes, that would be amazing. I will not get back the 30 minutes I was sitting and yelling at Visual Studio because I missed a dot.
True story.
But yeah, it's apparently in CSS you can write whatever you want and Visual Studio does not care.
It's still valid.
Yeah. So why aren't you taking...
Still not centering. It's not pushed down either, but maybe we're not on that step yet. Yeah.
No, that should be probably in the page. Whatchamacallit? Did I put the episode image on the right side?
Hit that feedback button in Visual Studio. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably good. Let's see if I put this on the correct.
What's the green line? So what's the green line is that?
Oh, the green squiggly line? Sometimes there's green squiggly lines. Let's see. I think we have one here. This one. Is that the one? Yeah. You know that one.
I do.
Yeah.
So in our project, we have our project is using the nullable function or feature. So what it's actually telling us that episode could be null. Might not be, might be. So we probably should check for null at that point, and we haven't done that. So that's a kind of a warning, but it's not. Well, it is a warning. So it's telling us you should check for null at this point. Actually, I thought we did check for null on episode before that.
But maybe that's on I don't know.
That was the one. Perfect. I'm new to this.
I was the same way. I was like, there's squiggly lines. There's squiggly lines.
Let's try and fix it.
Yeah.
So after episode, you just add a question mark.
After this one?
No, after the green squiggly. Just after that.
Oh, right.
There we go.
Oh,
question mark.
Right. So that should resolve, especially if I save.
I think it actually should work at that point because we're checking if the episode is null. And if it's not null, it's going. It's going to go into the else clause. So I actually think that Visual Studio is a little bit. If you were doing this exact code behind, Visual Studio would probably not add a squiggly line. But what we're doing now is that we're saying use episode. If it's null, just stop. Just don't evaluate the dot image because that's when the problem comes up. And we actually have that right beneath as well with the episode dot content.
Yeah.
So the same fix there, just add a question mark.
So when should we? It's just a pre-warning, right?
Yeah.
Just so you know, you are on your own. Mm-hmm. We have let you know it's your problem now.
It's possible that at this point, but if we check. You see that we have the if, we're checking if the episode is null, and else we're doing that. So actually, it can't be null at that point in the code.
Yeah.
If we're in there, the episode isn't null.
Yeah.
So this is
but
probably
Visual Studio maybe.
Yeah, this is probably just Visual Studio. This is a preview. So.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to ignore this for a while. Mm-hmm. And just continue until maybe it fixes itself because I probably missed a step.
Because things do that.
Yeah, sometimes they do. Sometimes I just have to ask someone else to do it. I don't know. So in where do we have that? Am I in the right file? Am I even looking at my correct notes? That is the big question. So we have the media query that kind of messes me up sometimes.
It's kind of hard to follow.
Oh, it's because we're still running. Okay. I want to show everything. So we have the media query. We have one. Yeah, that's the one that we're using. And if I put the things in the wrong place, I mess things up. Mm-hmm. But we are doing mobile first, and then we are querying if it's a larger screen, do this. Mm-hmm. So we're defaulting to the other one.
Right.
And I'm still wondering if I'm on the same file because my notes just went away. Okay, but let's grid the content. Maybe that will help me do this stuff. And where's my active? There's my active. Let's put it right underneath here. Let's just grid all the things, because how bad could that be? Let's do a page grid container. Yeah, this is probably why it's not working, because this is the container. And we have a display of grid, so we can make it an awesome grid. And now we're using a grid template again, which I really like, because you can set how many columns you want, and you can also set how you want it to look. So in our case, we are setting it to one fraction. We have a min-max. What am I doing? There we go. We have a min-max. There we go. Of 600 pixels and 3 fractions. And we also have one fraction on the other side. So what this is doing is making sure that we have equal size on each side, and so we always know. So a fraction is just an arbitrary number. I could just as well have put in percentage or pixels if I want to be that person. But fractions is just a way to make it easier for us. I could have put 10 fractions and 30 fractions and 10 fractions. That would be identical. So the actual number I'm using is not that important. It's just how...
Just equal parts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's just parts. And let's justify the items to the center. Sweet. Yeah. So now we need to use this. I'm guessing we could try to just put it right here instead of page content. Do a page grid container.
Yeah.
I saw that one. Let's see if this is where my notes went wrong. Wouldn't be the first time, though. We have a podcast. Let's click on Carl Franklin. Well, I mean, come on. What am I doing? Ha. Okay. Stop messing with me. Well, probably me who's messing with everything else, but... so I'm just going to pretend like nothing has happened. Actually, do I have the... Which one is it? It's the episode file. Let me check if there's any way I need to put in... We have the page content. Why do we have
but you haven't done the page content.
No,
so maybe you should do that.
Maybe I should do that. That actually sounds... I am sometimes not the best brain user.
Well, it's hard to... There's basically no time in the world when people are so stupid as when they're coding live. Because
that is true.
Problem solving just goes out the window.
Yeah. So now we're going to get to the stuff. If I just would have kept with it, this would probably happen. Now I'm jinxing it, of course.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing here is say that the content, we had the grid columns. We have said we want these columns, but I want the content to start on grid line 2, and I want it to span over until the end of grid line 3. So basically what I'm saying, put it in the middle. I could just as easily have written span 1, because it's spanning over one column, so it's all a preference. And then I'm putting in the padding down here, up here actually, which is the same that we used on the other side.
Right.
And someone please say a prayer to the demo gods now.
I think you have a little bit more to do.
Did I? What did I forget?
Because you changed the...
I changed the name of it.
Changed the page content or whatever. called.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that page grid container is actually going in the main layout or something like that.
Just don't talk. Let's see where.
Just don't talk.
Well, me. I mean, me, not you. Okay. Where are we? We're in episode. Let's do this again. This is working out great. Okay, so in main layout, where do we have? Do we need?
I'm totally guessing now.
Do we have anything in?
If you just scroll down a little bit.
No, that's.
There we go.
My gosh! Do you know why I messed this up so badly? Let me just go grab that so I don't misspell it. So what we did on a previous version, we set a class that we didn't use that was called content. And
I believe that was the default template.
Yeah, probably. And I don't think that is as specific as we want it to, because I want to be able to read this later on. So let's do a class, or not. Let's do a class equals that instead.
There we go.
Yeah, so I was like, well, there's already a style here. Yeah, but it's the wrong damn style, okay?
Language.
Sorry. Maybe I said dang? No? Could be worse. Well, look.
There we go.
Something happened.
Something's
we
centered.
have it in the center of stuff. So finally. So what else do we have? Let me see. Because now I'm just lost, which is basically my day-to-day thing. Do I have the CSS for the episode layout? I seem to remember that we had something previously, or was that just me mucking around? No, that's just me, because it should be here otherwise. Oh, okay, so that's good. Okay, so what else? What else did we say we should do? We said we should do. I did center the image, didn't I?
Yep.
Yeah. Then we're done with that part as well. So let's move over, and let's see. Did we get feedback? Did we get a better solution? It's kind of a sledgehammer solution for that CSS problem, but ReSharper has additional syntax coloring that distinguishes different kinds of selectors. Nice. I don't have any of those plugins actually, which obviously you can see.
But usually when we do demos and we're on stage and demoing things, using a plugin like that is, well, I wouldn't say it's a bad idea, but it's a better idea to show the
it depends
out-of-the-box experience.
It depends on the audience, and that's also one of the reasons that we are using plain regular CSS, and we are not using Sass or any of the other, well, obviously not using the framework. I blanked on the name. Bootstrap. Because if I was trying to learn something and I learned something in a way that wasn't vanilla, as you would say, I would probably not know if that's a CSS thing or another thing. So I just wanted to see.
Yeah, ReSharper can be pretty heavyweight.
Yeah.
And I actually used ReSharper for many years, but having, I think it took 1 gigabyte of memory per Visual Studio window.
Yeah.
And I had like 8 of them open, and that was the time where you didn't have 64 gigabytes of memory.
Yeah, that is true. You were lucky if you were 8. So another thing I would like to do is mark. I want to differentiate the URLs from the actual text.
Okay.
because I think that makes sense. It's easy. It doesn't look like it's as much text and stuff like that. So I would like to make them look a little bit prettier, which means I will now try to remember everything that I'm supposed to do, because I need to fix things on more than one place. It's okay to laugh at me. I'm still learning. I'm okay with that. So let's do. What are we doing? Where am I at? We have the center. We have here we have an A. So we have said that we want no decorations, no line under anything. But what we also can do is get a little bit more specific. So we have the page content class that we were using.
Oh, that's why we had a page content.
But we can be even more specific here. We can say page content A, which means, wrong bracket. What did it do? Don't mess up my my stuff. Let's see. There we go. So what it means is, if we can find an A inside of a page content, do this.
All right.
Which I think is really pretty cool. And you can go on and on with this stuff. And this one is the other way around. It's both the body and the URL, if I understand that correctly. So I think it's kind of handy.
And the CSS selectors, by specifying that page content A, that's a more specific tag than just any A tag at all.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's going to grab that.
It's going
CSS,
to override all of them. The more specific you are, the more weight it has, basically.
And I think the most specific one, I'm not sure about this, but I think the most specific one is when you're using an ID. So you're saying that this item with this particular ID, that's the one that is that's the CSS.
And at one point, where's that? Is that in the main layout that we are using both? Where are you at? We're using both an ID and a class because we didn't want to muck around and do it twice. Where are you at? So basically what we did was writing one CSS for both of them because they had the same name. Back to the CSS. Scrolling there a bit.
Okay, so we're telling it if it's in page content, the anchor tag, what is going on. Then we're going to have the hover font color.
Yeah, we're going to change it to the hover font color is a blue color.
Yeah.
So hopefully
there we go.
Go through. There
it's
we go.
already in there.
It is. But I would also like to change this one a little bit. No, it's actually already centered. Let's not make a mess of it.
Don't touch it.
Yeah, a little bit like that. Sometimes you should not move stuff if you don't need to. And we have, well, they are at least blue. So we can see that the text actually feels less to read to me right now. So that's that about that. But we also have a another page. Or wait a minute. Did we mess up? Yes, we did. Well, me. Now we only have one row here.
Oh no.
Yeah. But I think we can fix that in episodes layout instead of episode. So where's my episodes layout? We have that one here. And we can just say grid column. So we're telling them where we want the stuff. And I can show you another one. We can say we want it to start by line 1 and we want it to span until the end. So it can help me with that. I don't even have to know.
So basically we had 3 fractions.
Yeah.
And now we're saying we want everything. We want the content to span all the three, all of the.
We had 3 columns.
Right.
We had just said that
exactly.
So we had 3 columns, but actually I think that now we're just saying just span all the things.
Right.
So we will get.
So if you have a huge screen, you're gonna get all of the content.
Yeah, because I'm saying just keep on spanning until it's until the end, basically.
Cool.
So that's something. But we also have the YouTube videos. So we have the YouTube page, and of course we have the. Okay. Okay, because it's not pushed down because we have a separate page for that. But one of the things I am thinking about, and I know you have thought about that again, you don't like duplication.
Nope.
I don't like duplication. So why are we saying twice the name of the video? Doesn't make sense, does it?
Doesn't make sense.
No. So I think we should actually fix that. So I think we have a file for that, which would be the YouTube videos. And again, that's a Razer component. I'm learning, okay? I'm trying. So what we can do is just remove all the things.
All the things?
No, we just want to remove the text. Do we want the timestamp? I don't think that's interesting on the outside. Maybe, perhaps, on the inside.
I'm not sure why the date should be interesting at all.
No, I don't think it is. I don't think it is at all. Why did I mess up? Did I comment out something iffy? Or?
It's not running.
Oh my gosh. There we go. That's a common issue.
I think it's actually, you might need to comment out the last div as well.
Oh, yeah, let's do that then if you're going to be like that. I missed that one. For some reason, I thought that was the image tag. Like, you close that. There we go. And we have the YouTube. And we have no text.
Yep. Because we have images on almost all of our videos.
So we have images where we have guests, and actually we have all of them here. All of them we are showing on that we're getting back from the RSS feed does have images.
We have reached the limit, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's kind of exciting.
You're only getting back like 15 or something like that.
Oh.
So
we might actually need to use the YouTube API.
Seems so. But that's fine. That's fine. Let's do that. Let's dox ourselves on the next show.
Well, you could not do that also. That could also be a thing. So that would be something. Okay, what else do we have? Should the image, let's look at that. Should they maybe be a little bit bigger than the podcast images? Because
do they need to?
I don't know.
I don't think they need to.
You don't?
No. Unless you have prepared that, and I'm totally ruining your demo here.
Well, that wouldn't be the first thing. That's okay. If you want them this tiny, sure, we can live with that. If we don't want to read the text, we can do that.
Down the rabbit hole.
Oh, yeah.
So,
fight.
Before we started the stream, I watched the first half of the new Matrix trailer. Oh my God.
Is it going to? Oh, but I don't want to see trailers.
If you haven't seen it, just stop watching. No, watch it to the end. Afterwards, we can watch it. It's. Whew.
Is that so?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I think they're actually going to pull it off.
That would be amazing because that was such a revolutionary movie. I think the first one came out like 1999.
Yeah, I think so.
Which is the same year that Star Wars Episode 2 came out and failed miserably. So obviously you had the technology back then, but they chose not to use it. I'm not a fan of Episode 2.
So we have the technology here, but no, we're not going to use it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. What happened. But, I mean, it's been a while.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that will be interesting. Okay, so we have another 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing with those 10 minutes? Are we even going to attempt to fix the image?
Maybe we should...
We
have 10 minutes.
Can add the sponsor page.
Let's add the sponsor page. That's a good one. Let's do that.
So, and let's see. That I can handle. I think. Maybe.
Well, we're going to need a couple of images and stuff like that later on, but we're just going to add it and add our sponsors.
We could just copy one of the pages.
You could do that.
Let's just copy that because you said I had to be lazy. And let's call that sponsors. Or is it a sponsor page?
Hopefully we have more than one.
Hopefully. It's in the making.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the making. Okay, so let's call it sponsors. But of course, we don't have to have all the head content, and so we can just remove that.
I'm thinking that we're not going to get this content from a database or anything like that. This is just going to be hard-coded.
Yeah, pretty much. So basically, I can just remove everything. Yep. Just like...
No, not
everything.
Exactly everything.
You're not happy with that, so... We don't have to check if the episodes is null.
Just keep the page up there, and I'm fine with it.
Okay, so almost everything. Happy now?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay,
and we can
have
awesome sponsors.
Well, let's just type them out.
Okay, so we have...
So we haven't talked about our sponsors.
Well, and I'm just typing it in the code. I'm not even showing it.
So we have a couple of amazing sponsors. We got Progress,
Telerik, like this.
There we go. And actually, I added the link in the chat room as well.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
We also have a new one that's in the works. We have If, which is an insurance company.
Yeah, like so.
Well, they do amazing things for the community. They sponsor events like these, and
I think their dev community is like 600 or 800 or something else. I think we just got the most hilarious. Do you also have else? We're working on else. Well,
someone else can be a sponsor as well.
Well, if we do it like this, then we have if and else. It's not if or else, but...
and of course, NDC.
Yep.
They're helping us to do some recordings.
Yep.
At NDC.
That is.
We should add NDC as well.
We should add NDC Oslo. It's actually the one. So I think NDC Oslo was the first international conference you spoke at.
Yeah.
And NDC London, I believe, the year before was my first one. It's a really good, really good conference. It's especially the one in NDC Oslo is huge. And it has, I know they are talking about everything from C++, C#, obscure things, whatever the latest or the oldest JavaScript framework you have. So basically everything, and I'm going to talk about... No, I'm not going to talk about that on NDC Oslo. I didn't submit because COVID.
Yeah, and we were not sure about that. What was going to happen with COVID? So.
Yeah.
Actually,
with the COVID.
Did I say the COVID?
Yeah.
With the COVID. So when I did my talk there, I did a talk on Bluetooth, and I believe it was UWP back then, and Azure something. So I was connecting things with Bluetooth, I was connecting things with Azure, and I had to bring all of these things through customs.
Now, we travel a lot, and that's fine, but in our head, Oslo, that's like just like a skip and a hop.
Yep.
It's so close. We don't have to worry about anything. Unless you pack a humongous robot. I think it was like it was basically the size of the largest carry-on that you are allowed to have on any airplanes.
Yeah. And I remember they asked me. I asked the X-ray personnel, "Do I have to open the bag? Do you want me to bring it out? If you open the bag, can I see it?"
Can you see
it?
It's
kind of taking up the whole bag.
It is the bag.
And I had 2 sessions that year, so I was also bringing like a lot of USB stuff because I was doing a talk on All-Join. Thank you. I'm almost forgetting the name nowadays. It's not a thing anymore. So I had lights and stuff like that, and yeah, it was insane.
Yeah, I think you had Christmas lights that also had a melody. You had light fixtures and basically anything that connected to the web or Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, which also is an interesting thing at a conference where everyone at least have one device connected.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was interesting. Hi.
How are we doing? We're doing great. How are you doing? I'm pointing at the screen like. How are you doing?
I did that before too. I can't get used to it.
We don't have too many screens. We have many screens.
We do have
in
many
different directions.
We have one on top of us, which usually is kind of like a preview of whatever. If we're using a PowerPoint, we have a huge TV. Well, it's not huge. A medium-sized TV. In front of us, where we have our StreamYard, which is basically what we use for streaming. We have our streaming computers, 2 screens over here, and then we also have a whatchamacallit with the screen over here. A teleprompter, yeah. And of course these.
Shirley Dev is good, can't complain.
That is always a good thing. Well... We're humans, of course we can complain. I can complain that I didn't get to finish the site, of course, but I'm trying to use my new mantra, done is better than perfect.
Should we pop over to and see what's going on in the...
in the real world?
In the real world,
To your computer?
Yeah, to my computer.
Yeah, in the backlog.
So let's see what we did, what we didn't do.
Yeah, this is actually the first sprint that we did not finish all content.
Yeah. So we added a sponsor page.
We did do that.
That is done.
We have the physical page.
We added the page.
Yeah, we have yet to style it.
Added the page. You did that. That's your... It's done.
I love that we have sprints that are 90 minutes and we're still
We didn't change the image.
We did not.
Get that back there. We didn't add an about page.
No, but I can do that while you're talking.
We did style the content pages.
We did
style... We didn't do the videos, did we?
No. We still have a few.
So let's
yeah, because that's also a
podcast. Let's rename it.
This is also a discussion point because what we could have done and what normal sane people probably would have done is used the same CSS for all the content pages. But since we actually want to differentiate them, like for instance, next time I will actually make the videos larger. Jimmy does not want the sizes to differ. But we also didn't want the text to show up and some few differences. So we are duplicating a lot of stuff, but not all of them. So that's why we decided to split it up.
Style
video
page.
So both video and video, so that could be the same.
Fix sponsor page.
Yeah. We need to do that.
There we go. Is there anything else? We changed the image. We got that one covered still.
Yeah. So with what did we call the image one? Change the image.
Change the image.
So I'm thinking that probably we won't actually change the image.
Okay.
I think we will resize it.
Okay.
So depending on how large screen we are working with.
Let's say resize.
Because first of all, our image is kind of wide, and it doesn't make sense to use that in a smaller one. And when I thought about it, if we're using our smaller logo, just the brackets, I was going to point to our background image that we have that nobody can see, but we have just the brackets with the music thingies in the middle. That one is kind of square, and that will result that we will push down the hamburger menu quite a bit. And I don't think that is the best option we have. So I think it's better that we just resize it, and for the smaller screen, just remove it. We don't need it. Maybe we can put in a text or something, but let's start with resize the image. Maybe we can just type out coding after work if we need to.
That's good. Okay.
I will probably regret that and change it back later, but
we do need. You did talk about styling the videos page as well.
Yeah.
Style videos page. At this point, since we removed the title, there's no way to actually click the buttons.
Oh yeah. And that is also something we should look at for the podcast page, because we can't click the images.
Right.
And that's not a good UX.
I'm actually gonna add, just as a reminder, add a alt text.
Yes, please.
Because if we don't have a title to index actually, and as well for those
who needs it,
screen readers and stuff like that.
I actually added one, but I don't think I showed it, but I put in an alt text on the logo because it's such a small thing for us, but it's such a huge thing if you actually need that sort of help when, like you said, the screen readers and all of that. And there's a ton of more things that we need to do to get this up to par for all of that stuff. But yeah, definitely we should start.
Done. It's better than perfect.
Yeah, I'm trying to. It's very hard, though. It's very hard. And again, someone will probably have to just rip the keyboard from me and go live with the page at some stage. Obviously,
I promise
not now.
I will do that.
Yeah, but I don't trust you.
I promise you. I'll fix it. I'll fix it.
Your done is undercooked, and mine is overdone.
Have I ever done anything that is undercooked? Ever?
Well, not in the kitchen, which our Italian friends will cry about. Boiling pasta with the you get like a boil for 5 to 6 minutes. Jimmy just adds another 2 minutes, and that's his al dente, which what's it fine. That's fine. Everything is very mushy though. Oh, you're lazy. You don't want to chew the food. we have like the liquidizer. We can use that. You can just drink all the food.
Ew. All right. So we got a couple of things that we probably want to do next time.
Did you move back the things from the sprint?
Yes.
Awesome.
And we actually need to implement YouTube.
You need to click on Shirley there. I don't have YouTube control to do that, I think. Do I? Yeah, maybe I can. At least he doesn't boil it until the water is gone. When I boil water, it sets off my smoke alarm. That is a skill, my friend. That is a skill.
Is that even possible?
Well, I have put on the saucepan without anything in and forgot about it.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever boiled the pasta water until it's gone, though. But I set a timer. Otherwise, I would probably, because I can forget whatever I'm doing. Béarnaise sauce. Yes, all the things. So we had a very ketchup and Béarnaise sauce. Is it called that in English? I don't even know.
I think so.
Heavy day at the UX class today.
Sounds like an awesome day.
Yeah, it was either ketchup on all the things or the other sauce that I cannot pronounce, even in Swedish, actually. So I just shortened it. Actually, one of the projects they are doing is a sauce app for the average Jane and Joe, or Jill and Joe, maybe it's called. I don't know. So when you're in the store and you always default to Bea, as we call it, or Béarnaise sauce, you could just type in, I'm doing ribs tonight. What sauce should I get? And everything is like very easy.
And the answer is always béarnaise.
I think that was one of the things they said, but maybe you could have the spicy one or the one with the tomatoes.
Fair enough. No. That is not béarnaise. That's Sharon. That is not okay. That is abomination.
That is basically ketchup and Béarnaise sauce together.
That's true.
That's Sharon sauce. I did not realize that. Oh my gosh.
It's horrific.
My gosh.
Horrific.
Photoelectric smoke detectors are more sensitive to steam.
Okay, so it's steam. Okay, I get it.
That makes sense. Then it wasn't as much as a skill as it could have been. A bad skill, I would say. So that's impressive. I'm happy we don't have one of those.
Maybe we do. I don't know.
No, this is a regular crappy one. No, it's medium crappy, I think.
All right. So thank you so much for joining us. It's been fun.
Well, I didn't finish, but done is better than perfect. Done is better than perfect.
We got some things that we for the next show as well.
Yeah,
That's a good thing.
And also in Scrum, there's no shame. There's no look what you didn't do. We're concentrating on what we did do. I'm trying to live by my words.
It's totally fine.
Okay. So until next time. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.